Alright, so I showed a little bit of the progression of how I started with racquetballs, and I've actually gotten some professional juggling balls. I'm only at 3 right now, but my goal is to work up to 5. Not sure how long that's going to take, but damn it, I am never going to quit until I can get 5 balls in the air and actually be juggling them. But right now, my number one challenge right now, I can juggle 3 balls, but I can't juggle 3 clubs very effectively. So this video is just going to be me practicing with these clubs, and I'll probably be going for a while. So you know, this is just basically a documentation of how bad I am right now, and I will get better. And I'm just gonna basically talk out loud of what's going on in my head, what I'm realizing, and how I need to correct the mistakes that I'm making, right? So, you know, basically, when you flip the club, it has to come back to you straight, all right? Or it's going to, if it's all cattywampus like that, it's, you know, you've got to reach out and grab it in a weird, awkward manner. And you could totally do it. I mean, honestly, that's how I'm doing it now. But getting a feel for the club handle to come back to you to where it's very easy to grasp onto. That's the objective, okay? And that's one thing that I'm thinking about is where is it going to land, okay? And that has to be computed in my brain to how I'm going to pitch it up in the air, all right? When I've got 3 of them, it gets a little complicated. So again, this is just me practicing. But I found that just working with 2, one at a time, is helpful to begin with. Just to kind of give my brain an idea, okay, I'm going to have to put this kind of physical, a lot of motor skills, hand-eye coordination, practice is necessary. It's totally possible, you know, if you're not good at this at all. It just takes experience and a lot of mistakes. Okay, so I've got that. And now whenever I start doing these simultaneous, it really solidifies in my mind, okay, this is, you know, this is what it feels like in my non-dominant hand to pitch this club up at the same height as my dominant hand, and that's what whenever I'm not doing really well, between not doing well and doing mediocre, which is an improvement on not being able to do this at all. When I pitch these up simultaneously, and then I grab the other one and try to go with 3, that's bouncing into each other is also a big issue, and that's where the figure 8 comes in. You're sweeping and throwing it so it's going to end up being on this side, and then you throw this up over here. And if they're in different, you know, areas, then they're not going to run into each other. But I'm just practicing, really, trying to get it on the side, on the opposite side of the pitching hand, and coming down straight at me. That is a challenge. I am making progress, though. I'll tell you, just even the mediocre, that's probably the best I've ever done. Just the mediocre progress that I'm making at all is worth all the frustration. But as you see, as I start going, I start concentrating more on the pitch versus the spin. And when it all starts to fall apart. Because you have to continue to think about that. And as that handle comes down to fucking hit you in the head, you lose it. And I've also found that if I switch over to balls, it really it helps my brain recapture what it is that I'm trying to do. Now, this is so much easier than those clubs. So I'll do that a little bit, and then I'll try some clubs. The minute I throw one off, I have to throw the other one off so they don't run into each other, and then they just all are off. And right there, they were gradually moving away from me. Whenever I have two, it's far easier for me to grasp mentally where they are, where they're coming down. I'm not trying to avoid them. And whenever they actually start looking identical in their flip, you may notice I'm just kind of gazing out into Never Never Land and using my peripheral vision to, figure out where they're going to come down for me to catch them. But it is a fun challenge. And the sense of accomplishment I get whenever I can actually pitch these things up 5 or 6 times consecutively, there's few things to compare. But when it really starts falling apart, that's when I realize, okay, I've got to start again with the simultaneous flip and having the other one where I can just reach over and grab it, so that my brain, when it's set at that exact spot, I can just grab that other one. See what I'm saying? But the minute your brain starts wandering to other things, it's not able to concentrate on one of the various things that you have to be thinking about in order to continue catching them. I start choking up on it, getting way up here when I'm catching it, and really having them at the very end. That's where you get the easiest flip. And as it starts to fall apart, I just have to quit trying 3 and revisit the 2. Hey, so there you go. I'm making progress.